Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. It is in the U.S. It's Sunday. I'm on the West Coast, so it's 11:30 a.m. Let me know in the chat where you are watching from and what time it is, and let me know also. Like, we are really close to Christmas. It's December 20th. Christmas obviously is December 25th. Let me know if you celebrate Christmas or Hanukkah. I feel like, is Hanukkah over? I'm looking at my husband on the other side. I think I saw that Hanukkah is over, but I'm not sure. It's 12 nights, right? So you'll turn it
my December the 18th.
Yeah.
December 10th to the 18th.
Oh, it's only 8 days? I thought Hanukkah was 12 days. See, that's what, yeah. Eight nights of Hanukkah, huh? Okay, so Hanukkah is over. It ended on the 18th. So Jennifer, you are Northwest Indiana Central. So you're in Indiana. What time zone is that? Is that Central or Mountain? Let me know in the chat, Jennifer. Or is it Jennifer or Jennifer? Let me know if I'm saying, I don't want to say it wrong. So we're doing a live Q&A today, and I hope you have your beverage and you are comfortable. I have I heated my water up too much, so I'm going to have to wait a few minutes. You can see the steam to drink my tea. But I also did something really, really cool and different this week, mostly for my Instagram. But if you look at the description of this video, so you're going to see the first two lines that I typed, and it actually should be in the very first line, but you may have to hit see more. You're going to see my Linktree URL, and it's really cool. And like I said, I mostly did it for Instagram, because on Instagram you can only put one link. So in the Linktree you can put a bunch of different links. And I had heard about it before, but for some reason I just never did it until today. So it's really pretty cool. So welcome, Jennifer. Divya. Hi, Divya. Thank you so much for being here. J.R. Fisher, thank you for being here. Divya. Oh, goodness. Jennifer, it's 1:30 p.m. and yes, it's Jennifer. Okay, so you are Central Time then, I think, because you're 2 hours ahead. So cool. Divya, my dog has, I'm going to pronounce this wrong because I am not a veterinarian, paroxysmal dyskinesia. That sounds like, I'm going to have to look that up. That definitely. Jamie's on it. Jamie's on it. Mine is pronounced JR. Yes. Yes, Jennifer. Okay. I'm so sorry I said that wrong. I apologize. It is like, it actually is no longer a pet peeve of mine. It has happened to me so many times for so long, but for some reason it is still a little bit of a pet peeve for my husband when people call me the wrong name. But for whatever reason, like my whole life, my whole adult life at least, people call me Jennifer, and my sister-in-law, her name is Jennifer, and people call her Jessica. So there is something about Jennifer and Jessica that people just cannot get right. So I apologize that I got Jennifer wrong. But that is very cute. I really like that play on the name. So thank you for correcting me, though, because I hate getting people's names wrong. Did you find what you are? Right now. Oh, I thought you were going to tell me. So episodic movement disorders, PD, which abnormal movements are present only during attacks. Episodic movement disorders. So, Divya, I would imagine that you have this diagnosis because you have had your dog treated by your veterinarian. I'm not sure what, like, you're needing help with. So let me know, post in the chat what you're actually needing help with, because it sounds like if you have this diagnosis, you're already working with your veterinarian. And like I said, I'm not a veterinarian and I don't even play one on TV. So
there's a second half to that.
Oh, there's a second half. Okay. Broadly refers to movements of the body that are involuntary. Okay, that makes sense. Between attacks, most people are generally neurologically normal and there is no loss of consciousness during the attacks. So it's just involuntary movements is what it seems like, which I understand can be very frustrating probably for the person or dog who like it's happening to, because your dog probably has no idea what's going on or why that's happening. So let me know, Divya. Sorry, I discussed it here. I'm just worried. Divya, let me know what you're worried about. Angela, thank you so much, Angela, for being here, Angela. Yeah, so Angela, I think I might have talked to you. You have the book, you ordered the book. So let me know if you've read through the book. I really recommend going through the whole book, like reading it. It only takes maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours to read the whole book. And then in the very back of the book, all 7 canine commandments are listed out for you. So you can either like tear that out or make a copy of it. Or if you got the ebook, you can just print off that page and put it in your refrigerator and really, really make sure that every single day you have all 7 canine commandments in practice, being patient, being positive, everything. And then just, keep working with your dog, building confidence, adding enrichments for your dog to build confidence, and work on more training. If you haven't already gone through the beginner dog training series, I definitely recommend going through the beginner dog training series. I know it is linked in the description. If you haven't gone through it yet, definitely check that out. I don't have it on my link tree yet, but it is in the description of this video. Just start working with your dog, because everything you can do to help build your dog's confidence. So if you ask them to do something and they get it right and get rewarded, that's another penny in the jar of building your dog's confidence. So definitely keep working with your dog. Okay, I have so many chats to read. Okay, Jennifer says, my pup cut his paw pad. Ooh, yeah. And I unwrapped it after it stopped bleeding. So is it okay for him to continue licking it? Jennifer, I would definitely not let your dog continue licking at the paw pad. It's very instinctual for your dog anywhere on their body. If they get injured, they want to lick it and clean it and keep it clean. I would actually, and I don't love doing this, but it is what it is, and sometimes we just have to. If your dog is incessantly licking at it, an injury on a paw pad is difficult because your dog has to walk, and your dog has to walk on their paw pad, so it's gonna take a long time for it to heal. So we want to do everything we can to help it heal quicker. So let's not let our dog lick it. You might even have to put a cone on your dog, which I don't love, but it is what it is. If we have to do it, we have to do it. Keep it clean yourself, and if it's bad, if it's deep, I hope you've gone, at least called your veterinarian to discuss it with them. But paw pad injuries, that's why they're so serious. They can very easily get infected if we don't really take care of them. So I would recommend actually keeping your dog rested as much as possible so that they are not walking on it as much as possible. So in exchange for not being able to run around the way that your dog normally would be able to, provide other enrichments. So have them in their crate, maybe with, instead of feeding them their food in a bowl, put it in a slow feeder bowl. Even if your dog doesn't need a slow feeder bowl, it's an enrichment activity. Or put their food in a snuffle mat, or freeze it in a Kong. And just provide them other different, you can make different puzzles and things for your dogs just out of cardboard to hide treats and food in, or even if you're working on like teaching your dog scent work, you don't even have to use food. But I would definitely recommend keeping your dog like not licking it and keeping them off of it as much as possible. JR says, okay, so we're still talking about the PD, must be tailored to the individual, yes, and it may be necessary to try several options before symptoms are diminished or alleviated. So Divya, I like I said, I would imagine if you have a diagnosis of PD for your dog, you're already working with your veterinarian. So let's really hone in on treatment with your veterinarian. for me, I haven't ever dealt with it in a dog before. I've never had a dog with that particular, I guess it's a disease, where you just involuntarily have movements that are involuntary. I would imagine for some dogs it's not going to faze them, and for other dogs, but probably it depends a lot on the severity of the disease. But for other dogs, it could really frustrate and confuse them. So definitely, if you are already working with your veterinarian and you're happy with the diagnosis and the treatment plan, great. If you're not, I would recommend seeking another veterinarian, and you can go to the ahvma.org website. So it's the American Holistic Veterinary Medical Association, and find a holistic vet in your area to get another opinion and to work with them on treatment plans, because it's a medical condition. So I would absolutely have to refer you to a veterinarian, and preferably a holistic veterinarian if there's one in your area. So, okay, people with PKD generally respond well to anticonvulsant agents. Okay, so there are definitely treatment plans out there, and if you're not happy with how your veterinarian is handling it, then definitely get a second opinion with another veterinarian. So thank you so much for all the information, JR, on PD and PKD, which I had not. Okay, Divya, thanks for explaining. Also, Divya, okay, so you tried the Himalayan dog chew and it turned out great. That is wonderful. I got that recipe from Planet Paws from Rodney Habib, so I wanted to just put it out there for other people to be able to try, and I'm so glad it worked out great and your dog loved it. Jennifer says, yeah, we had cone on him and took it off yesterday. I felt bad. No, I completely understand. I would feel bad too. I don't like keeping my dog in a cone, and they don't like it, but sometimes we have to do things that are for their own good. Just like the other day, I hate needles. I hate needles. And I had to go and get blood drawn the other day, and it was for my own good, and I didn't want to do it, but I had to do it. So I went and did it. And it's kind of the same thing. We have to do what's best for our dogs, even if they don't always love it. So you can definitely reward when you get the cone out. So every step you take to put the cone on, reward, and that doesn't always have to be with food. It can be with pets, it can be with praise, it can be with play, or having a toy that your dog loves and helping. You obviously don't want to throw it and make them run, but you can play in place with your dog, because I know with a paw pad injury, we want to keep them off of it as much as possible. Keep it clean, keep an eye on it. You can also use things to, just keep it clean with just, clean water, but we can also use things like coconut oil. So if you have some extra virgin coconut oil, that's going to be really great to also, once it starts healing, keep on the paw pad maybe 2-3 times a day to just rub some in around the cut on your dog's paw pad, because coconut oil is great for so many reasons. And I actually have talked about coconut oil on this channel before, but not only is it going to help moisturize the paw pad, which, it may be drying out if you're cleaning it all the time, but coconut oil is also a natural antibacterial, so it's going to help keep it clean as well. So you could try that once you get through that hump where it's starting to heal up a little bit. I would say go ahead and start adding in some coconut oil as well. Jennifer, he's a 17-month-old lab. Oh my goodness, yes. So he is full of energy, and at 17 months, I'm sure all he wants to do still is play. So any enrichment activities you can provide him to keep him in place and keep him off of his paw is definitely going to help. And then if he does need to be up and on his paw, you can bandage it for a short period of time while he's up and around and on it. So maybe he's not getting dirt in the cut itself, but as soon as he's done, maybe he's going outside to potty and then he comes back in, I would take it back off, because really keeping the bandage off is really going to help it heal a lot quicker than keeping a bandage on. But a 17-month-old lab, yeah, definitely find enrichment activities that he is going to enjoy while being basically on bed rest. Because, yeah, he's going to have a lot of energy to get out for sure. JR, hey Divya, you tried the Himalayan dog chews and liked them great. Yes, so thrilled that people get really great content out of the videos I put up. So I mentioned earlier it is getting really close to Christmas, so I'm gonna give a gift card away, and I didn't even tease this, and I should have. But if you're on, if you're on chat, I do have a Chick-fil-A gift card that I am gonna give away. So just be aware. We're gonna do that closer to the end of the video. If you want to stick around, definitely stick around to get the gift card at the end. Have your Chick-fil-A app ready. So if you don't already have your Chick-fil-A app on your phone, go ahead and download it on your phone and have it ready so that when I give you the code on the card, you can just type it in, because whoever gets it first, whoever types it in first gets it. So be ready for that. We're gonna do that at the end of the video. So a couple of things I did want to talk to you about is, well, it is almost Christmas, so I'm curious as to what you do with your pets around the holidays. So do you include them? Do you get them gifts? Are they just, I mean, they don't know what's going on, so do they help your kids unwrap their presents and just play in all of the chaos of Christmas morning or Hanukkah nights, if that's what, if you celebrate Hanukkah, because I know you do gifts, I think, every night of Hanukkah. I guess it depends on what your tradition is. So I want to know, post in the chat, what you and like how you include your pets in the holidays. For us, Kim gets presents. Like, I mean, that's what I do. I just love buying her gifts. I love buying anybody gifts. So I have to prepare early because my family is all on the East Coast. So I've already shipped everything out to them. And now it's just, you know, me and my husband and Kim and the cats. So I have all of it is ready to go, as you can see. Probably behind me. It's all ready to go. We're all done. We're just waiting for Christmas to roll around. So let me know in the chat how you include your pet in the holidays. And really, really cool feature that YouTube has right next to where the little arrow is to submit your chat. There is a little like box with a $sign in it. That's called Super Chat, and it's a really cool way to support the channel because I don't get paid to do this for you guys. I'm just here providing answers and content for you guys to enjoy, which I hope you do. And so that Super Chat is a really cool way to help support the channel and help me continue to provide great content for you guys. So what that does is it actually like puts a like color block around your comment or your question, so I see it above everybody else's, and it lasts for, you know, a certain period of time. I want to say 60 or 90. I think it depends on how much you donate as to how long it lasts, but it's a really cool feature on YouTube, and it does help support the channel. So I would definitely appreciate any of that support. But it's also really cool. You can do like stickers and things like that you normally couldn't do just by typing in the chat. So I did have some questions as well. Let me find where my questions are. Back all notes. Okay, so I had my questions pulled up here. Oh, goodness. There you go. See, JR's showing you how to do the Super Chat. Love your content and free training. Yes, thank you so much, JR. And thank you for the Super Chat. So there is a ton of free training on this channel. One in particular that I've already mentioned, which is linked in the description below, is the Beginner Dog Training Series. So whether you just got a new dog or you have had your dog for years or months and haven't done any training, it doesn't matter where you are with your dog, I definitely recommend you go through the Beginner Dog Training Series because it's building that bond with you and your dog, and you and your dog are learning some really cool stuff along the way. So Jennifer says, I do have a few toys and bones for him, but when we open presents, he will be in a crate because he will chew up the wrapping paper. Absolutely. So it's really cool to have our pets with us through the holidays, but also being aware and keeping our pets safe is very important. So Jennifer, I appreciate that you said that, because keeping them safe is going to be definitely the number one thing you want to do. So if you know your dog is gonna eat something, then keep them away from it. Keep them, like you said, in their crate and give them something to occupy themselves, so everybody else can be partaking in what your dog isn't able to partake in, but your dog isn't like missing out, right? So you're providing them some sort of enrichment while they're in their crate, whether that is their meal or even if it's like I said, there's a lot of different things you can do. Scent training is a really cool thing. I haven't started that with Kim, but I really think it would be very interesting to do, and providing them any scents that you use, though, I would say make sure they are safe for them. So if you're using like essential oils, I only recommend veterinary grade essential oils, which I know I've talked about a ton on this channel. So Animalio is the only one that I recommend because it's the only one I know that is veterinary grade. So let's get into some of the questions. Okay, so I actually saw a poll about this on Facebook the other day, so it was really interesting. So let me know by posting in the chat, or if you're watching this later, if you're not on live, it'll be the comment section below this video where you can answer this question, because I really want to know for everybody. I want to know, do you let your dog sleep in bed with you, or do you let your dog on the couch with you? One or the other, or both. I would really, really love to know. I saw this poll on Facebook the other day, and so I'm very curious as to my subscribers specifically, if you let your dog in bed with you, if you let your dog on the couch with you, or neither one, or both. So let me know by posting in the chat or by posting in the comments afterwards if you're not on the video live. I really want to know if you let your dog in bed. Now, I do. My dog is family, and it's comforting for her. It's comforting for me. She doesn't stay in bed with us for very long. Like, she gets to the point where she's like, no, I want my space, which I totally understand. But she will stay in bed at least until I fall asleep, and then she gets down and gets in her bed, which is right next to me. And then she does get up on the couch with us. She loves being on the couch because she loves touching us. So she loves being on the couch with us. She's just not allowed on the couch if we are eating on the couch. That is the caveat that I have to that. So if there is a caveat, go ahead and post it in the chat for you and your dog, like eating. If your dog is not allowed, in the dining room maybe while you're eating, or on the couch while you're eating, I would love to know that. Divya says, also, I like to tell you that I love the way you explain, and I am a subscriber from India. Awesome. Thanks so much, Divya. I appreciate that. I appreciate you. And let's thank JR, by the way, for being our little Jamie, as he calls himself. If you watch the Joe Rogan podcast, then you know what I'm talking about. He provided a lot of information for PD. So, Divya, you're in India, and I don't know what resources online are available to find holistic veterinarians near you, because earlier I said the AHVMA, but that's in the United States. So, JR says he wants to travel to India one day. Yeah. So, if I would just Google like holistic veterinarian in whatever area you're in, because I know India, there are lots of different little communities, and I don't think they're cities. Maybe they're cities. Are they cities there? Oh, lots of different cities. So you can look and just type that into your search engine for where a holistic veterinarian is close to you, or try to find one. But really, for the involuntary movements, if it's not bothering your dog, I wouldn't worry about it too much. If it is bothering your dog, that's when you really want to seek additional assistance with, finding another veterinarian who can maybe help you better if it's bothering your dog, for sure. Divya says, yeah, that will be great. Yeah. So I do hope you let me know, follow up and let me know if what you find out, if you find another veterinarian who can help you a little bit better. I would love to know that. Because those involuntary movements are interesting. I haven't worked with a dog that, I haven't worked with a dog that has had that. So it must not be too terribly common, at least here in the United States. Or I'm in California. So that's interesting. But there are treatments for it if it is something that's bothering your dog. For sure. So, but I would love to know if you guys let your dogs on the couch, sleep in bed with you. I thought that was a really interesting poll that I saw on Facebook the other day. I think it was actually yesterday. But there are actually studies that have been done that say that women specifically, not necessarily men, but women sleep better when their dog sleeps in bed with them. And the studies obviously can't tell you exactly why, but there are theories as to why that is true. Because the studies that they did are actually like sleep studies. So if you have a sleep study done, so a control would be like you're sleeping on your own through the night, and then you're hooked up to monitoring systems. I actually recently, over the past few weeks, have been sleeping with my Apple Watch on, and I have an app on my phone. It's called Pillow. There is a paid version, but I just use a free version, and it tracks my sleep through the night, and it tells me how much light sleep, how much heavy sleep, and how much REM sleep I'm getting. It also shows where I'm awake and how long it takes me to get to sleep. So it's really interesting information for me because I don't sleep that well generally. But you take a control where it's just you sleeping through the night, right? And you're hooked up and being monitored. So they know how well on a control night you're sleeping. And then the next night you sleep, but you sleep with your dog, right? And then they can tell, because you're still hooked up and being monitored, how they can compare the difference in how well you slept with your dog in bed versus how well you slept without your dog in bed. And I believe multiple studies have been done that show that females specifically sleep better when their dog is in bed with them. So for me, I feel like one of the reasons is going to just be like that security factor, right? Because whether it's that your dog is there to protect you, or your dog is close to you so you can more easily protect them. So that's, I don't know. There are theories as to why, but there are actually studies that show that. So let's see, .com. Divya says, my dog is doing great. He's a 3-year-old lab and his name is Rudy. Oh, that's awesome. So your 3-year-old lab has the PD condition, which is involuntary movement, but he's doing great. So I think that's wonderful. If your dog is doing great and really is not being, affected by the involuntary movements, then I think you're doing great. And checking with the vet is just going to be, making sure over time that you're staying on top of it. That's a link for India Vet. What is India Vet?
Holistic. In India. That's in India.
I saw .com, but I didn't see. So it's holistic.
It's above it.
Yeah, I don't see it. Okay. Let's see. Jennifer says, yes on couch, but we keep him out of the bedrooms due to wanting to chew on the material and socks all the time. I'm sorry.
It's there. It's pet naturally. Natural remedy. It's there.
Yeah, it's just not showing up for me for some reason. Okay. Okay, so he wants to chew on the materials in the bedroom and your socks. I get it. I understand. Kim loves to like dig. If we have a pile of clothes like in the closet, for instance, she will just go and dig in them and dig and dig and dig and dig and like make a little bed for herself. It's actually pretty cute. JR says, how long do dogs sleep? So, oh yeah, I saw that. Okay, how long do dogs sleep? So it actually is going to vary depending on if you have a puppy or an elderly dog or just a healthy adult dog. But generally, yeah. So generally, a healthy adult dog is going to sleep somewhere between 12 and 14 hours a day. And a puppy, though, can sleep 18 hours a day. So, the more a puppy sleeps a lot because, they're growing and they have like these real big energy spurts when they are awake because they are growing. So it's puppies and generally elderly dogs as well are going to sleep a bit more. But a healthy adult dog is going to sleep about 12 to 14 hours a day. Divya says, thanks a ton. About 10. Yes, you're so welcome, Divya. I do hope it helped. Jennifer says, yeah, I have a Fitbit. So does it track your sleep and everything? That's really, really cool. Jennifer says, I wish I had room. LOL. He's 85 pounds. He's sleeping on top. He would be sleeping on top of me. Yes, he's English. Yeah. So, Kim is a fairly small dog at 14 pounds. She might be a little bit more than that because she gets probably a little too many treats throughout the day. But at 85 pounds, yeah, I mean, there are those like memes showing like there are two people in bed and the dog is like parallel to them in bed and like pushing them off the beds. That's so cute. But I could see that's probably what your dog would be doing, right? Who here has a little dog like Jessica? Yeah, so post in the chat and let me know what kind of dog you have. I know, so Divya has a 3-year-old lab and Jennifer has, let me scroll back up here. Scroll back up so I can find what your dog is, Jennifer. 17-month-old lab, so a year and a half, roughly, yeah, a year and a half lab. So lots of labs. So let me know. Labs are wonderful, by the way. I love them. They're so good and very easy. I mean, most dogs are easy to train, but labs are very, very, I think, pretty darn easy to train. So let me know in the chat what kind of dog you have, if you still have a big dog, if you have a little dog. I'm gonna find another question here. You guys ask questions, or I'm gonna pull some up from my notes from what people have been asking me outside of the live video. Yes, 17-month-old English lab. Thank you, Jennifer. I just had to scroll back to find it. I thought you said you had a lab, but I wanted to make sure I had it right. Let's see. Oh, here's a good question, and it's actually something don't forget, by the way, I am going to be giving away a Chick-fil-A gift card here in just a few minutes, so stick in here with me. So I had a question asking me about heartworm pills. And it's actually something I am currently looking more into because right now we're in Southern California and heartworm, the little area we're in, isn't a huge, like, obviously it's a concern. Like, we never want our dogs to get heartworms. Let's see. I have some other questions in here. So let me finish my thought and I'm going to get to your questions. Obviously, like, heartworms are an issue. They are a concern, but the actual incidence of dogs getting heartworms varies depending on the region that you live in. If there are a ton of mosquitoes, like you live in the South, then yeah, you have a huge concern. Where we are, we don't have a ton of mosquitoes, so it's not as huge a concern. But we're moving, by the way. If you didn't know that, then maybe you're not a subscriber, so check the link down there and or the subscribe button down there. If it's red, make sure you click it and turn it gray. Once it turns gray, there'll be a bell. So select the bell, click it, select all notifications, and you'll get notified every time I post a video. But we are going to be moving, and we're moving to Texas. So the incidence of heartworm is greatly increased from where we are now. So it's something that I am researching more and more lately, because I don't want to just blindly give my dog a pill that I don't know what's in it or how it's going to affect her. So I'm looking at natural remedies. The number one thing we can do is make sure our dog is in tip-top health. They are in the best physical condition they can be in, because we know that these parasites, they are looking for a good host, and a good host generally is not a super strong, healthy individual, because when you're really super healthy and you have a very strong immune system, when a parasite enters your body, you're the very healthy host that parasite enters is going to quickly kill it. So that's the number one thing we can do. And so feeding a balanced fresh food diet is one of the absolute best things we can do to keep our dogs in the best physical health possible. So we're already doing that. So I'm looking at other things. So I'm interested in what you guys are doing for heartworm prevention. Let's see. Angela says, I have a Bissell Griffon poodle. Ooh, fancy. Mix, 6 months old, about 12 pounds. Aww. And Angela, is that your dog that needs the confidence boost that barks when you leave? I can understand how, especially our smaller dogs, we just need to give them that extra confidence boost. Divya says, wish we have a trainer like you in our country who cares so much about dogs and love them as their own children. Aw. Well, Divya, fortunately, YouTube exists. So even though I don't live in India, you can still watch my videos and interact with me, and I can answer questions that you have. So the internet is wonderful in that way, that I don't have to live in India to still be able to provide you the information that you're looking for. So that's wonderful. JR says, how much should I feed my dog? So I believe it was Purdue University. I can look it up, but a university not too long ago, it was either earlier this year or last year in 2019, posted a study they did, and it varies. So the answer to your question isn't like X. That's just not how it works. But it varies depending on the size of your dog. It varies depending on the energy level of your dog. So puppies need a different caloric intake than a healthy adult dog, and then generally puppies need more caloric intake than a healthy adult dog, and then an elderly dog may actually need fewer calories than a healthy adult dog. So the stage of life that your dog is in, and the energy level they have, the amount of energy they're exerting in a day, is going to have to be taken into account. Also, is your dog what's going on with their hormones? So if you have a female dog and they're in heat, they may need a different caloric intake during that period of time. Also, oddly enough, and Steve Brown, actually, I went to a conference that Dr. Karen Becker and Steve Brown did. It was a little over a year ago. Actually, it was a year ago, this past October. And one of the things he brought up, which I thought was so interesting, what climate do you live in? Is it really hot? Is it really cold? Is it a mild climate? That also is going to affect the caloric intake that your dog needs. So a very, very generalized, a very generalized rule of thumb, a good place to start for a healthy adult dog is going to be 2 to 3% of their body weight. However, again, that can change drastically depending on all of these different all of these different things that are going on. How old is your dog? How much energy are they exerting every day? What kind of climate do you live in? You know, is it really cold? They may need more calories because their body is working to keep them warmer because it's cold outside. Is it very hot? They may need fewer calories because they're not exerting as much energy. There's so many different things that actually go into what we need to be feeding our dog, but a good place to start, and it's not an exact science by any means. There is exact science out there, but a good place to start is about 2 to 3% of your dog's body weight for a healthy adult dog. And then you can start adjusting from there. Once you see maybe your dog is always hungry and needs a little bit more, or maybe your dog is gaining a little bit of weight, so you need to take a little bit away. So that's a place to start, but not terribly scientific. So I hope it was a very long explanation for what you may have thought was a simple question, but it actually isn't. Okay. Aww, Jennifer, you don't have a Chick-fil-A and you're in Indiana, I think you said. That is so strange to me. Like, I feel like they are everywhere I go, but I haven't been to Indiana, so I'm so sorry to hear that. And I'm not just because of the gift card, but like, I love Chick-fil-A. They have some of the best sweet tea. JR says, oh no, Jennifer, if you don't have a Chick-fil-A, you need to move. Yeah, I know, right? Divya, I know her love for animals by the way she explains. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Angela says yes. So that 12-pound Bissell Griffon Poodle mix, 6 months old. So yeah, Angela, especially being 6 months old, your dog has so much to learn still. Definitely read the book, implement the 7 Canine Commandments every single day, and start working with your dog on the Beginner Dog Training Series. The link is in the description of this video. It'll say Beginner Dog Training Series, and it'll give you a link to the YouTube playlist, and you start from video 1 and work your way through, and you can just do 1 video a week if that's what you can do. If you can do 2 videos a week, that's great. The more advanced you get, the further down into the videos, you're probably going to want to give yourself a little bit more time so to actually work on these cues with your dog. But definitely go through the Beginner Dog Training Series, start building that communication between you and your dog, and start building that bond with you and your dog. It's also going to, the more your dog gets things right and you're rewarding those things that she is getting right, the more confidence your dog is going to have. And that's what we really are aiming for right now, is building your dog's confidence. Jennifer says, I do Heartgard. I don't know any other naturals. I do have a natural spray for tick and flea instead of the medicine, which is great. So I know, and I'm going to be bringing you more information on heartworm prevention because I've started studying it. And I know there are things we can do, and I want to say pumpkin seeds, maybe one of them. But I'm going to bring that to you guys. So I'm interested in what you're currently doing, because there are some natural alternatives out there to heartworm prevention. And Dr. Will Falconer, who is definitely not the most followed veterinarian in the world, because that's Dr. Karen Becker, but Dr. Will Falconer is very interesting, and in fact, I do believe he is in India right now. He's an American veterinarian, but he's doing work in India. So Divya, you may want to look him up. He's doing work in India, and I think he currently resides in India, though I don't know what part. And he has a course on holistic heartworm prevention. So I'm definitely going to be looking into that as well. Why, JR says, why do dogs wag their tails? Well, there are different wags. So just like there are different barks, there are different wags. So it depends on what kind of wag your dog is doing. A very, very, very super high wag, like their tail is like this and going really fast, could be a very anxious wag. If it's just calm and flowing back and forth, your dog is just happy and content. If it's down low and could be wagging, could not be wagging. They could be scared, or there's an impending threat that they're concerned about. So it really depends on how they're wagging their tail as to how you should be interpreting that tail wag. Jennifer says there's a okay, about 20 miles away. So there's a Chick-fil-A 20 miles away. And Angela says I called her, I'm so sorry. His name is Bounce and he shows it. I bet a 6-month-old dog is definitely going to show a lot of bounce. All right, guys, so we're going to do the Chick-fil-A gift card here in just a minute, right before we end the video. But I wanted to show you guys, because I don't do this very often, so I'm just going to take this really, really quickly. I always, I mean, at least once or twice a week, get an email from some company wanting me to promote their product or do a review of their product. And I'm actually going to be doing a video on a few different products, and this is one of them. So I wanted to give you guys a sneak peek because you guys are very special for being here with me on this live video. And it's just a brush, but it's actually, I like it more than I expected to like it, which is why I'm showing it to you guys. And I am going to be doing a video on it. It's a really good size. It's advertised for a cat. I think it's a better size for a dog. But the handle is actually pretty nice. It has this like rubberized handle on it, so it's kind of a soft grip, but it's not too soft. And the really cool thing about it is that it has this button on the back that you push, and it pushes out all of the hair from the bristles so that it's like an easy clean. So I'm going to be doing a video on this, but I just wanted to give you guys a sneak peek because you are so incredibly special to me for being here with me on this live video. So I wanted to give you a preview of that. Like I said, I almost always say no when people contact me about doing a video on their product because it's not a product that I would actually ever use. So why would I bring it to my audience? But this is a product that I would use, so I said yes, I would do it. It's available on Amazon. So if you do check out, there's a link in the description to my Amazon storefront. I'm going to be adding this to it, so definitely check out that link as well. Really quick before we do the Chick-fil-A gift card, Divya says, why does my dog love guests and strangers more than me? He loves my dad and haven't licked me till now. Well, Divya, I wouldn't assume that your dog loves other people more than you. Your dog may be getting more excited because something new is happening. Like a new person is there, and it's just, there's excitement around environmental changes and new people and meeting new people, and your dog can just be very, very social and excited that other people are coming over. So I wouldn't assume that your dog doesn't like you at all. So yeah. Let's do this gift card giveaway really quickly, and then I'll let you guys go and enjoy your Sunday, your last Sunday before Christmas. I have to actually clean, you guys. This bin is full of dog toys, and like, spoiler alert, Kim is getting more dog toys for Christmas. So I have to clean this out, and I am so terrible about it. Kim and I both are absolutely terrible about it. I literally will like empty the bin and start sifting through, and Kim plays with every single one of them. I'm like, I can't get rid of them if she's playing with them. So let's do the gift card giveaway, okay? You ready? Ready? Let me know in the chat that you're ready for the gift card. And, oh, here we go. Here we go. Chick-fil-A, I have to say, is one of my all-time favorite restaurants. I know it's a fast food place, but whatever. Like, I just love Chick-fil-A. They have the best sweet tea. They have really good chicken sandwiches and chicken nuggets. So here we go. Divya says, thanks a lot and Merry Christmas. Thank you so much, Divya. I appreciate you for being here and for participating and asking questions. I'm going to put this up here, and I know you're not going to be able to see it, but I'll read it to you. If you can see it, great. Okay, so here we go. I hope you have, I'm going to have to get to the PIN number as well. So I hope you have your Chick-fil-A One app open and ready to enter the code. Here we go. It is 6178 5090 3095 4283. Merry Christmas, Angela. Merry Christmas, Jennifer. Thank you so much. And the pin is 6288. So let me know. I know, Divya, I know I'm assuming there's not a Chick-fil-A near you either, and I apologize about that. I wish you had one because they are really awesome. And the best customer service, like ever. The best customer service. So let me know in the chat who got it. I would love to know, and Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to everybody, and Happy Hanukkah, even though Hanukkah ended, if you celebrate Hanukkah. But I enjoyed. Thank you so much for being here, Divya, Angela, Jennifer, JR. Thank you so much for being so active in the chat. I really appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you all have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. This is the last live before Christmas. There will be another published video before Christmas. And yes, I hope you all have a wonderful holiday. Let me know. I want to end, but I want to know who got the Chick-fil-A card. So post in the chat if you got it. I want to know that somebody got it so we can end the live video. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a wonderful holiday, you and your dog, whatever, however you include your pets in your holiday traditions. Have a wonderful, wonderful holiday and a Merry Christmas, and I'll see you guys next Sunday.